What is up, everybody? RasouliPlays here, bringing you guys Fire Emblem Heroes for iOS and Android. Today I'm going to be showing you all of my 5-star characters, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I know usually when people post videos like this, they're super flex and hard, but the reason that I'm making this video is because I did one in the past, but it was on a different account, and now that I'm using this one more often, and it's a lot more put together, it's kind of a more updated list. There are a lot of units on the previous video that I did that aren't in this one, because of course they're two separate accounts, but you guys may be a little disappointed when it comes to what I actually have, considering how many orbs actually been through this account. I've seen free-to-play players that actually have better accounts than I do, but to be fair, they had their accounts since day one and mine was like off and on for a while, so I don't know. But anyways, let me know in the comments for question of the day how many 5-star units you have, and then let's get started. So first of all, we have Jerome. He's like a Tempest Trials unit. I have him set with like no weapons or anything because I'm currently farming his hero merit. So there he goes. Then we've got my Fae, and she's going to be my first +10 unit, which is fun. And she's got Lightning Breath Plus refined for defense, and then reposition Aether Steady Breath Advantage I'm currently using to grind hero merit on the newest Grand Hero battle. And then Hone Attack 3 and the Quick Repost Seal. And then we've got New Year's Corrin. I believe he was a Tempest Trials reward, and I have him set to Grand Hero Merit as well, of course. That's why he has no weapons or anything like that. I'll probably never use him, but that's because I have Bravelyn, who fills pretty much all the roles I would ever need for the bow section, or colorless rather. Next up we have the Halloween Jacob. I'm never going to use this guy. For one, I don't really like Jacob as a character. Two, minus attack, which is a yikes and a half. You could go ahead and slap the attack +3 seal and whatever, but it still holds, and that's all I could think about whenever I use him, so it's whatever. Next up we have Alphonse. I only 5-starred him so I could do like his little quests that come for the orbs every once in a while. Him, Serena, and Anna, as well as Fjorm, of course. And then we have Marth, who I think it was a pretty good IVs whenever I summoned him as a 5-star. Pity broke me actually when I was trying to summon for Soleil on a live stream a while back. So I decided to build him, and this is the one that I went with. I'm never going to use him because the swords are super saturated in Fire Emblem Heroes. So next up we have Athena. She had pretty good IVs as well. I think she was plus speed minus HP or something like that, so I built her a little bit. I think I gave her Fury. Okay, I didn't build her at all, but I was going to give her something, but I just ended up not doing it. Next up we have Gray. Whenever I re-rolled to start using this account, I got Gray, Delphia, and Celica all on one account. I don't think any of their IVs were particularly special, but I mean, hey, he's got the Zanbato or Beto, I don't know how the hell you say it, but you hit the cavalry guys and they have a higher chance to die. So next up we have Ira, and this one's plus attack, I think, or plus speed, I don't really remember, it was one of the two. And I have her +3 because I put like 1,000 orbs in the Legendary Heroes banner and only got like 1 or 2 Iras, which is a little crazy, but I got 3 minus attack Celicas though. But we have her build, which is like the normal thing. I want to give her distant counter, but I only summoned 1 Hector in my whole entire life, and I already gave it to Areolas Son. Next up we have Roy, and I'm gonna build a super merged version of him because obviously he got demoted heavy and he's a lot easier to summon, and plus he has like a Falchion type vibe with his Binding Blade now, and Dragon Emblem is quite popular, so that can help me out getting a super merged character. But also he's got like the whole quick repost thing, and you know, he's got a lot going on for himself, so I decided that with the HM that I've been farming for feathers, I would put a lot of merges into this guy. I don't really have a heavily merged red unit, and this guy is a lot easier to put the merges into since you can get many different forms of them in different rarities. Next up we have the Tempest King Joshua. Oh, I guess I had 2 Hectors. Oh, I forgot about this guy. He's one of my favorite characters because it's very intertwined with the one live stream I did where I got to rank 1 on the Tempest King Joshua's freaking Tempest trial, which, you know, it was regrettable obviously, but I mean, it did work out. I got rank 1 2 times, and that's his build. I gave him like distant counter, wrath, and all that good stuff. I think he has Aether as well, so I mean, yeah, he's a pretty heavy built unit on the good side, but I don't really use him as often anymore. But he works out for what it is. Next up, we have Marissa. I know a lot of people gave her up for the Wodow sword, but limited units, I never give them away unless they're Grand Hero battles, because you don't know if they're ever going to come back. You know how long it took for Camus to come back? So in that situation, I don't know if it's really worth it. I know a lot of people give away Black Knight for steady stance. You lost it. So next up we have Ike, and I think he was plus defense minus resistance, and his build is like quite average. You don't have to give him distant counter because of the Ragnall, but there he goes. I know he's a little obsolete ever since the whole Vanguard Ike thing came out, but I already gave away my Vanguard Ike to the Areolas Son for Warning Breath. So next up we have Masked Marth, who of course appeared on many Tempest trials, even though we didn't really want to rerun. We wanted somebody new, but it's okay. So there they go. And I tried to build, but I'm not going to use him or her, whatever you want to call it. Then we have male Corrin, who I just used for HM grinding. I think his IVs were pretty good, but I don't remember. Probably not though, because I never ended up using him, but it's a damn shame. They should have blessed him. Did they give us Yato or Refine? They could give us Yato or Refine and give him +4 to all stats during combat. That would be nice, because isn't that what the Yato did? While you had it in your inventory, you had like a lot, like a bit of a stat boost. Next up we have Soleil. This was one that I summoned on a banner a while back. That's not the minus attack one. The one that I got on the live stream was minus attack, and I gave away her fire sweep sword to my Alincia. But I don't remember what IVs this one was, but it's not that good, probably because I decided not to build her. Next up we have Arden, who's an absolute savage, but I don't really use him, but he's cool. So you have him built in like attack +3. Is that even the build, attack +3? I don't know, but he has a lot of HP, so maybe you can give him like one of the boost skills or something like that. Next up we have Black Knight. I use him. He's really good for the HM farming. If you're into that, he can work on a lot of the maps, so it's nice to have him. I don't know why people keep giving him away for steady stance or whatever, but next up we have Black Knight without the helmet on, but instead he has it in his hand, and it's Zelgius. I don't know what his IVs were, but they're not good, and I'm not going to use them, so that's cool. Then we have Siebert, and he does like magic hits, like he lives the magic stuff, which is cool, so you can use him if you want to. I don't really use him at all because I don't really play through arena or whatever, so usually I have a set team that could beat everything, and that's what I use to beat my stuff. I don't play through anything else in the game really. Then we have the new Reinhardt, who is quite cool, and he does his thing. I think mine was plus attack. It was plus attack minus defense or something, so that's real nice. He has no weapon or assist skill because I actually gave him the slot to HM farm, but he has some stuff, so we can go ahead and use that. Next up we have the Brave Lion Roy, who's actually plus speed minus defense, and then I run a life and death build on him, I think. Yeah, there it goes. So you run life and death on him, and he kills a lot of people. I really like him a lot. I just wish I can get more merges on him, but he's pretty hard to get. Next up we have Siebert, and he is +4. I think he's plus attack, which is cool, and he's running a pretty saucy build indeed. Next up we have Alincia, who is plus attack minus HP, I think, and you run fire sweep with life and death, and you hit and run, and she really helped me beat. Remember when female Corrin, not female Corrin, female Robin had her little map thing for the 4 orbs? She helped me carry through that one, so I appreciate that. Next up we have New Year's Kamila, a bountiful personality, let me tell you, but she's pretty cool. I don't use her though, because I use Alincia instead. And then we have young Tiki, who I got on a free summon. I don't think her IVs were particularly good, but Dragon Emblem is Dragon Emblem. Speaking of which, we have adult Tiki, I think she's plus attack minus speed, or something like that. And then I give her a defense or fine on lightning breath because lightning breath is the best breath. I think she comes with it too. Then we have Celica. I don't think the IVs on this one were particularly good. I have her at +4 because I summoned 4 other Celicas. 3 of them were minus attack, the other one was like whatever. And I just merged into this one. I don't use her, but I mean she's good, I think. Next up we have Arvis. I 5-starred him because we did a video, it was me and Phoenix Master 1, we did where he carried me in arena duels and we were supposed to use Arvis, but I didn't have enough SP for something, Ardent Sacrifice, and then you do the recovering thing, so I don't know if we ended up using him, but I mean it was fun. Next up we got Lion. The first 20,000 feathers that I got doing the HM farming, I 5-starred Lion because this is my boy Winston's favorite character in the game. So it was like a I did it for him type of thing. Not that it meant anything special to him, but I mean it's like whatever. So next up we have Sanaa Key. I summoned her, I think she was like plus attack or something like that. Plus attack minus HP. Like really good IVs. And I built her up. I'm not going to use her though, but I mean she's pretty cool. Then I got Mel Morgan, which I summoned 3 5-stars in one pool and he was one of them. If you missed that tweet, it's on my Twitter. A link to the Twitters in the video description down below, by the way, you should follow that. I got Mel Morgan, Fallen Robin, and Adult Tiki, all 5-star in the Maui and Tiki Grand Hero Battle freaking banner, so that was cool. Next up we have Summer Leo, who I think mine's is plus resistance. I don't use him. I don't really want to use him anyways, but I mean he's cool to have. I like collecting the seasonal characters because I don't know if they're ever going to come back. Next up we have Normal Gotharja. I use a lot. As you can tell, she really comes through in a lot of the Grand Hero battles, so she's real nice. I have the Candelabra refined for defense, and she's like really beast. She's one of the best characters in the game in my personal opinion, so whenever I did top 5 red units, I think she was number 3, which is cool. Then we have 2 of the Ericas, the one on the horse. I don't know what the IVs were, I don't really use her, but I mean she's pretty cool. I might give her up for Swift Sparrow, don't tell anybody though. Then we have Fjorm, using the neutral IV one. I summoned 1 on the Legendary Heroes banner, but I don't think the IVs were anything good, so she's got her normal set that everybody runs, so I'm not even going to try to act like I'm special. Next up we have Ephram, who pity broke me once, and then I got another one on a free summon, and there he is with his build. Probably not going to use him because Areolas Son. Then we have Nephany. Her IVs are bad, or else I would have built her, so she's going to be wrath fodder for somebody one day. Maybe Areolas Son, I don't know. Then we have Brave Lucina, who I actually summoned a plus attack one, which is really cool, or was it plus speed? I don't remember, but Alexis Tipton, is that like... No, I heard Tipton and it reminded me of like the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, but she's running, you know, her set. I don't use her a lot either. So next up we have Areolas Son, probably the character that I use the most at the moment, and he has like super premium skills because he's my favorite character in the game. He has got Berkut's Lance, refined for resistance, and then Bright Naginata, Aether, and then Ignis, of course, because he has a lot of defense. I have Steady Breath and Warding Breath and Distant Encounter, and then I have Vantage, Quick Repost, and then Defense Tactic and Threat Defense. So he's one of my favorite characters in the game. He solos a lot of the maps for me, so I can appreciate that. Next up we have the Tempest Trials Eliwood. He's actually pretty good. I wanted to use him, but I never got around to actually finishing him off, and I don't really have a lot of skills to give him because I don't have a lot of fodder, but it's pretty cool. Next up we have Robin. I don't really use him except for Armor March, so that's cool. Then we've got Abel. I think his IVs were actually pretty good, but I don't use him because I have Areolas Son. Then we got Legendary Ephram, which I got on my free summon on his banner. I don't think his IVs were particularly good, but I mean his stats still look fine to me, so I don't know, I might use him eventually. But next up we have an absolute disgrace to this planet, Spring Xander, not because of his whole getup or whatever, because my god, talk about a hot garbage unit. So there he goes. I merged all the ones that I had because I didn't want to give Carrot Lance to anybody. Then we have Claire, and I'm building her with like Fire Sweep Lance, but I have to work on it. I think she was like plus speed minus HP or defense or something like that. So then we have Cornelia. I really want to build a Cornelia, but the problem is all the ones that I get are bad IVs, including this one probably, so I'm not gonna be using her anytime soon. Next up we have Minion, and I'm gonna give her lightning breath soon. I think I already might have given it to her, but I don't remember. Oh yeah, I already gave it to her. I just have to get it. So she's pretty cool. Definitely a large contender for a Dragon Emblem because she has Fortify, and then of course she's a dancer as well, so she's gonna be on there. Next up we have Maui, and she's pretty cool. She has lightning breath and all that good stuff. I want to give her steady breath, but I don't know if I'm really gonna use her a lot in Dragon Emblem because I want to put Grima on there, but I don't know. So next up we have Lind, and she's plus speed minus defense, and we're running like, I remember she was one of the first units I built when SI came out, and she's running like her set, so you use Arden Sacrifice to get her to Desperation range, and then you try to kill people, which is the name of the game. Next up we have Delphia. I think she was neutral, I don't know, but I don't use her because of Reinhardt, but I mean, it's cool. Next up we have my minus attack loot, which is fun. I used her in the Tempest trials, which is why she has a lot of SP, but I mean, she does her thing. Then we have Micaiah, which I got on her banner. I don't think her IVs were anything particularly special, but I mean, she's fun to use. So, I mean, 35 resistance is nothing to laugh at. So, then we've got Reinhardt, who's plus attack, and obviously I use him a lot. He really helps on a lot of the maps, especially like because you can do Lance Breaker and he can also destroy sword units. So a lot of the armored guys, I use Reinhardt. Next up we have my Raven, which I want to get a lot of merges on. I want to plus 10 him, and then I can start using him. He is plus speed minus, I guess, resistance. I don't know. That single digit stat though. He's got a refine that gives him life and death, and then I give him life and death on top of that, even though people told me to give him fury, but I mean, it's whatever. And then he has desperation and threaten defense. Probably will never get to desperation range, but I mean, because I'll probably get one shot. Next up we have Bravelyke. His IVs aren't good, but he is steady breath fodder, so I'm gonna give steady breath to somebody eventually. I don't know who should get it though. If you have any ideas, I guess you can let me know. Next up we have Spring Crom. He's just like, you know, a seasonal unit, so I kept him. And then we have Performing Arts Azura, one of the better dancers in the game because of her weapon. So a real nice unit to have on there, and I use her a lot. Then we have Christmas Crom. He has 999 SP because I used him on the Tempest event, and I think his IVs were decent, and I used him because, remember we did the top 5 green units? Yeah, so he was on there. And then we have Christmas Lissa, who I don't really use, but I mean, I'm glad I have her. Minerva, her IVs are really good, but it's a shame that I don't have a lot of space for her in most of my teams because of this chick, Azura. She comes in really handy, especially if you do the whole Flyer Emblem thing, so that's cool. Then we have Grima, who I have running at plus speed minus defense, which I know is like hot garbage, but listen here. My other one was minus attack, so you tell me which one I'm running. Of course it's going to be this one. I might slap like life and death on him just to make somebody upset, but I don't know. So next up we have 2 Mers. I had 3, and then I give 1 away for Hone Dragons on Faye, which is cool. So, I mean, I guess she's kind of cool. I really want to get more of her so I can give her Distant Counter, but I mean, I'd have to get the Hector first. Next up we have Spring Serena. And I was going to give her life and death, but her resistance is pretty good. She does her thing. She's actually one of the better green mages in the game, so that's appreciated. Next up I have a garbage Sonia. Her IVs are bad, but wowie, you keep doing your thing. And then we have Beats by Deirdre, and I don't use her because my Julia is like super highly merged, and I don't think the IVs on this one are good, so I might give her up for a quick repost, perhaps. Speaking of which, here's my Julia plus 6. I summoned a lot. I did 999 orbs on the Hero Fest banner whenever it was her, Minion, and somebody else. Ike, maybe? I don't know. But this is what I got going on for her. I think it was either plus attack or plus speed. I don't really remember which one. But she's pretty cool. And she's running whatever it is she's got to run. Divine Naga, you can refine it now, so I don't know why I would use Deirdre. Next up, I summoned a plus attack Corrin, so I decided to build him, and this is the build that I went with. Pretty cool. Look, we only have 1 SP left. We really drained them. Next up, we have Dancer Inigo, who counters both Reinhardt and Bravelyn, not at the same time though, unfortunately, but I mean, hey, he's pretty cool, so we can do your thing. I say counter Reinhardt, but I don't think he could kill him unless he has Moonbow up. Next up, we have Rajat. I think she was minus attack, but I mean, all I know is her IVs were pretty bad, but I mean, damn, she's looking pretty damn crispy. So there it goes. Well, she's about to drop the book, which is never a good thing. Then we have Halloween Henry. I used to use him a lot. You can do Live for Honors, probably one of the only reasons I use him now, because of the sacred seals. You need badges. And then we have, what is that, 3 Lilina of the Valentine one. I was going for Hector, and then I ended up getting 3 of her instead, which is a yikers and a half. But I mean, I don't know if she's good or not. I don't even know what the IVs are, but I'm probably not going to use her because I have Julia. Then we have Cecilia, which is cool. I had a plus attack one, so I said, F it, I'll just build it. But I mean, it's a little regrettable now since she doesn't really work as well. But then you have Spring Kamila, who's plus attack, but she requires like what tome is this? Grand Raven? Or something like that to make her more viable, but F it. Next up, we got Perfect Shot George. I think my IVs on this one are pretty good, but I'm not going to use them, so. Then we've got Faye, who's just waiting to be used for Fire Sweep Fodder. I don't think her IVs were particularly special. Then we've got a plus speed minus defense Brydelia, and she's running the Brave Bow set, which is real nice. I might give her Fire Sweep. Probably not though, because I'm not going to use it, but I mean, she comes in handy sometimes. Then we got Fallen Takumi, who I built to the absolute maximum that I could at the time of recording this, and he's pretty cool, one of my favorite characters in Fire Emblem, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt and gave him some good stuff. So there he goes. Next up, we have my pride and joy, Bravelyn. Still using the neutral one that you got to pick whenever CYL originally came out. You got to pick any of the 1 units for free. I chose her, and I'm still using the neutral one. And I summoned 6 other ones since then, but all their IVs were bad. So here we are, and we're running. I think I gave her like everything. I gave her Brave Bow, Fire Sweep, and then Life and Death and Swift Sparrow, and then she has Cancel Affinity. She has like a lot of stuff, which is fun, and also, yeah, so that's pretty cool. Felicia, I got her on my free summon, which is fun. So I don't think her IVs are anything good, but I'm not going to use it anyways. Kagero, I think her IVs are pretty good, but I don't have any merges on it, so I wasn't going to use her. Then we have Prince of Soup Takumi. I think he was minus attack or minus speed, I don't remember. And then I merged him to a different one, so that's good. Not going to use him probably. I got this Halloween Sakura on the Legendary Heroes banner, and it was a Hillman. I don't know how to actually say your name, and I apologize. I told him to pick one of my stones, and he picked it, and it was this one. So that's cool. Probably would have been like a 3-star otherwise if he hadn't picked for me, so I appreciate that. Next up, we have Genny. I know everybody says Jenny, but get off my dick. Okay, so you got Gravity on there, but I messed up, and I gave her the Wrathful Staff one, which hurt my feelings a little bit, but I fixed it. And there she goes. I use her a lot because she's one of my favorite healers because of Physic Plus, so that's very much appreciated. Got another one of her. And then we have Lachesis. I don't use often. She's like whatever. But Lionheart's sister. And she does her thing, which is cool. I guess she gets Physic Plus too, but I mean, I'm not going to use her. Next up, we got Mist, who broke my pity rate like 2 times, which was a little unfortunate, but I mean, thanks, I guess. I'll use her eventually. Got another one of her. And then we have Priscilla. And I don't use her at all, but I mean, she's cool. And then last but definitely not least, freaking Cinnamon Roll and a half, Elise. And I've always wanted one of her, so I'm glad I got her. And I use her from time to time, as you can see. But yeah, she's pretty cool, and I appreciate that. But yeah, so that's it. If you want to see like all the other characters that I have, I mean, there you go. I don't really have a lot of fodder at the moment, but this is what I got going on for myself. So that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to RasouliPlays. It's about a lot. For all my social media links, see the various links in the video description down below. Or go to twitter.com/RasouliPlays, twitch.tv/RasouliStreams, as well as instagram.com/RasouliPlays. And I mean, a little bit of a disappointed character box for how much orbs I put into it, but you know what? I mean, it's whatever. I get the job done on like all the maps, so it's okay. Thank you guys so much for watching, like I said, and I will catch you guys later.